The city's unseen depths. In the heart of the bustling metropolis, amidst towering skyscrapers and crowded streets, lay an unassuming apartment building. The residents whispered of strange occurrences within its walls, of odd noises that echoed through the corridors at night, and of shadows that seemed to linger in the corners of their vision. Among the residents was Sarah, a young woman who had moved to the city in pursuit of her dreams. She had chosen the apartment for its convenient location, but soon she began to notice the peculiarities that others spoke of. It started with subtle disturbances of creaking floorboard in the dead of night, a sudden chill that would sweep through her room when no windows were open, and the feeling of being watched even when she was alone. As the days turned into weeks, Sarah's unease grew. She would wake in the middle of the night to the sound of whispers, faint and indistinguishable, but unmistakably present. Her dreams became plagued by visions of dark figures lurking just beyond her field of vision. She confided in her neighbors, but they merely exchanged knowing glances, unwilling to delve into the mysteries of the building. One evening, as Sarah sat at her desk, her fingers dancing across the keyboard, she heard a soft tap on her window. Startled, she turned to look, only to find nothing but the dimly lit cityscape beyond. Chalking it up to her frayed nerves, she returned to her work, but the sensation of being watched lingered, intensifying with each passing minute. When the whispers returned that night, they were clearer, more defined. She strained her ears to catch the words, but they seemed to slip away, just as she thought she had grasped their meaning. Paralyzed with fear, she remained in her bed, the covers pulled tightly to her chin, drenched in a cold sweat. The following day, she began to notice changes in the apartment itself. Objects would shift from their original positions, doors would close on their own accord, and the temperature would plummet inexplicably. Desperate for answers, she began to scour the internet for any history tied to the building. Yet, her search yielded no results, as if the building had appeared out of thin air. Her grip on reality began to slip as the days turned into a harrowing blur of unexplained occurrences. The shadows seemed to take form, slithering across the walls with a life of their own. Every creak of the floorboards sent shivers down her spine, every flicker of the lights sparked an irrational fear that consumed her. In a frantic attempt to escape the haunting of the apartment, Sarah sought refuge in the city. But no matter where she fled, the sense of dread followed her, growing more palpable with each passing day. It seemed that the building's sinister presence had seeped into the very fabric of the city itself, weaving its tendrils into every street and alley. As Sarah struggled to maintain her sanity, the boundary between reality and nightmare began to blur. The city, once a vibrant hub of life, now appeared as a shadowy labyrinth from which there was no escape. And Sarah, trapped in the clutches of an inexplicable horror, could only wait in dread anticipation of what darkness the city would reveal next. Despite Sarah's mounting terror, a stubborn curiosity gnawed at her, compelling her to unravel the enigma that had entangled her life. Determined to confront the building's history, she delved deeper into the labyrinthine archives of the city's forgotten past, seeking any shred of information that might shed light on the mysterious apartment block. The more she uncovered, the more she realized that the city's history was laced with a dark tapestry of unsolved disappearances and sinister urban legends. Tales of restless spirits and malevolent entities whispered among the city's inhabitants, adding weight to Sarah's growing apprehension. Yet, she pressed on, driven by an insatiable need to understand the malevolence that had consumed her life. Night after night, Sarah would find herself drawn to the apartment's darkest corners, compelled by an invisible force that seemed to pull her deeper into the building's sinister embrace. She would hear the echoes of tormented voices, wails that reverberated through the walls, and visions that blurred the line between reality and nightmare. The once familiar hallways now seemed like endless mazes, each turn leading to a new revelation of horror. Her mind, frayed by the relentless assault of terror, began to conjure apparitions that materialized before her in fleeting glimpses. Unearthly whispers grew louder, urging her to uncover secrets long buried within the building's foundations. Yet, every piece of information she unearthed only deepened the mystery, adding layers of darkness to an already convoluted narrative. The city itself seemed to conspire against her, cloaked in an unnatural darkness that devoured the light and cast long, menacing shadows across every street. Even in the glare of daylight, the sense of impending doom loomed, tainting the once vibrant cityscape with an air of foreboding. Sarah's sanity, teetering on the brink, struggled to distinguish between the illusions that tormented her and the genuine manifestations of an otherworldly presence. Time lost its meaning as the days bled into nights, each moment marked by a ceaseless dread that coiled around her like a suffocating serpent. The boundaries between the living and the dead blurred, and Sarah found herself grappling with an existential terror that transcended the physical realm. She no longer knew if she was haunted by the echoes of the past or if the city itself had succumbed to an insidious malevolence that sought to claim her soul. Alone in the heart of the urban labyrinth, Sarah's struggle against the encroaching darkness intensified, every breath she took saturated with the fear of what lurked just beyond her field of vision. In the depths of the city's enigmatic embrace, she was left to grapple with the horrifying realization that she might never escape the clutches of the malevolent force that had made the metropolis its eternal home. With each passing day, the city seemed to close in on Sarah, its streets twisting into a nightmarish maze that refused to let her go. The boundary between the tangible world and the realm of shadows had dissolved, leaving her trapped in a relentless cycle of terror and despair. The sinister forces that had taken root within the city's heart now seemed to have their hold on Sarah, ensnaring her in a web of malevolent energy that pulsed through every inch of the metropolis. Every step she took was accompanied by a sense of impending doom, every fleeting glimpse of movement in the shadows, enough to send her heart racing. In the throes of her torment, she realized that the darkness was not merely an external force, it had seeped into her very soul, clouding her thoughts and poisoning her perception of reality. The city's pulse became her pulse, its secrets her secrets, and its malevolence her own. Fighting to maintain her tenuous grasp on sanity, she continued to search for answers, desperate to unravel the mysteries that had entwined her fate with that of the city's unholy past. But with each revelation came a deeper descent into madness, every uncovered truth a mere thread in the intricate tapestry of horror that enveloped her existence. As the boundaries of time and space blurred, Sarah found herself confronted by apparitions that seemed to taunt her with the futility of her struggle. Whispers from the shadows grew louder, their words of cacophony of ancient curses and unearthly laments that echoed through the desolate corridors of her mind. In a final, desperate attempt to break free from the city's clutches, Sarah ventured into the heart of its darkest secrets, guided by a relentless determination to confront the source of its malevolence. But as she delved deeper into the labyrinth of forgotten histories, she realized that the city itself was a living, breathing entity fueled by an insatiable hunger for souls. In the grip of the city's relentless grasp, Sarah's screams merged with the chorus of lost voices that had been swallowed by its unyielding darkness. And as the metropolis swallowed her whole, the echoes of her torment lingered, a haunting reminder of the unspeakable horrors that lay concealed within the urban labyrinth's enigmatic depths.